So, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to have on our show today Miss Maria Isabel Lopez. Good afternoon or good morning ba dyan sa California, Miss?
Oh, hello, Rose. Great to talk to you again after the red carpet at the Cannes Film Festival in 2016. Hello to my fellow kababayan and to the frontliners out there. Good afternoon. It's my first time here sa JUANEUKONEK. Thank you for having me.
Yes, you know what? How exciting, no? Yung 2016. That was my first and sana masundan pa face-to-face interview with you. What an epic year it was for the Philippines because that year our best actress,
Yeah. Jacqueline won at the Cannes Film Festival.
yes, that's right. But
Yes.
you know what, Miss Isabel, di ko rin makakalimutan, you were a scene stealer during that Cannes Film Festival. You
So it's
know,
because of the iconic green gown of Albert Andrada. But there's no really intention to steal. Effortless.
effortless. That's that's what you are. Yun talaga, yung wala namang effort but it just happens like that because I was there, naglalakad kayo, and then when it was time to pose for a group shot, all of a sudden, you raised your hand para dun sa pose na yon and it became viral.
Yeah, the world is full of surprises.
I know. It was a fun time. For me also, that was, I think, my second time to cover Cannes. Pero yun yung
You went to San Sebastian Film Festival, did you? Did you not go to the other film festivals around the world?
I did, but that was my second for Cannes. But
Okay.
it was so meaningful for me because nga nanalo ng Best Actress si Miss Jacqueline.
Yes.
So, bago pa magkaroon ng disconnect yung mga kababayan natin sa pinag-uusapan natin, but I know, alam naman nila kung ano yung Cannes Film Festival at saka yung historic moment na yon because that was the first time for the Philippines. Pag-usapan natin muna, you are now based in the US?
Yes, I got married last year. So I am now Mrs. Melrod. So after you get married, the pandemic came. And it's very timely that I'm married because, the actors and actresses are unemployed, especially that I'm a kapamilya. So they're not producing series now. There's a pandemic. So you have to continually reinvent yourself and revision yourself.
Exactly. And congratulations. I think I met your fiancé in Cannes. And ilang taon na po kayo naninirahan sa California?
Well, I've been here intermittently. I've been coming to California in the past 5.5 years since we've been together. And then like 4 years ago, I started to plan my life here in California. So show business work, I would fly occasionally to Manila to do some teleserye. And then after that, come back here to do art exhibits. So in other words, whether there's a pandemic or not, I needed to have a channel for my creative juices.
And you know what? You wear so many hats. Bata pa ako, Maria Isabel Lopez na kayo. When I was growing up, you're the Maria Isabel Lopez na beauty queen, actress. And when I was a reporter back in Manila, kayo naman ay naging advocate of so many causes, di ba?
Oh yes, I've always been very active, especially with women's rights, violence against women and children, the LGBTQ rights. I've always been vocal. And alam mo naman na taga-UP so how people from UP, that's where that gave rise to activism. Way back in those days, yeah.
Okay, meron tayong konting kakaibang game ngayon. It's not a game actually, just to have a little bit of throwback. We will be showing some photos of you and tell us some anecdotes or tell us about the photos. So, Chad, shall we start with the first one? A scene from Norma, 1965.
1965! So
Yes.
I was only how old? I was probably 8 years old or 7 years old.
So you were there. Which one are you?
Well, I was that girl on with short hair on the right.
Uh-huh.
There's another girl on the left. That's the daughter of Armida Suganreina.
Oh,
So
I
in other
see.
words, it's a production under the national artist Jovita Fuentes.
Mhm.
Opera Norma was done by Puccini. So my mom and we would always go. I would always tag along for rehearsals. So they needed somebody to play the daughter. So that was my first acting job.
Soprano?
She's a mezzo-soprano, the foremost mezzo-soprano in the Philippines during the Marcos days. Well, when Marcos was overthrown, the opera died. But
Mm-mm.
way back, she played all the major operas as a mezzo-soprano. It's like Madame Butterfly, she did La Gioconda, Aida,
Uh-huh.
Carmen. And I was like given the opportunity to do my first acting job. The first person to ever put my makeup was then the late Tita Armida Sugyan Reyna.
Oh my goodness, look at this child.
Uh,
First
what is that?
prize, child health contest. Oh,
Oh my
so cute. Kasi, ayan siguro kayo yung pinaka-healthy bata dyan.
Okay, I think baby pa lang ako, destined na ako to be a bold star. You know why? the way they judge, the way they judge the babies, according to my mother, was they have to remove the clothes and look at the skin. So my mom told me my skin was pink. It's baby pink.
Oh, wow. So that's why you won.
I don't know. That's how the judges there are like the dermatologists, pediatricians. Yeah, so it's an hospital. You notice the photo is sepia.
Yes.
It's so antique. This is how I was discovered. I was a sexy model doing this Lido de Paris, like Folies Berger type of show.
Yes.
Yeah, it was in a group show, modeling group called the Gerard Peter Models. Maybe you weren't born yet. But it's a kind of fashion show which is very much ahead of its time.
Mm-hmm.
So in the Philippines, we were doing these live shows. The ad of this modeling group says the country's most beautiful women. And I was modeling that Folies Berger type. We were wearing like bikinis, see-throughs, lingeries, like typical Folies. And I was discovered by fashion designer Rudy Fuentes.
Actress na ba kayo dito sa photo na to?
During the screening, I had no swimwear. I had to pick up my swimwear from this sexy modeling fashion show, which is a tanga. You know how a tanga is, very high waist. So when I got there, talagang the fellow candidates were raising their eyebrows. But because it's the only swimwear, decent swimwear I got, so I used it. Everybody was wearing the typical one-piece swimwear. Mine is so scandalosa.
Oh my goodness, it's nice to look back into that
I know, and then there was a
time
time
competition.
Rose, I was hearing this from gossips in the pageant that they were gonna give me a lot of minor awards, like the Miss Close Up, like the best minor awards. But there's a news going on that I will be disqualified in the pageant because of this.
Do we have a photo of Miss Isabel's crowning glory? Yung nanalo na siya? There you go. Wow.
But that wasn't the end, Rose, because after that, weeks after, the scandal broke out. That I was coming from this kind of origin, and then finally they asked me to resign. And I did not resign. I held on to my crown. I was able to make it to the Miss Universe pageant in Lima, Peru. Though I did not win, I was able to get good score in the swimsuit competition. And then the rest is history. I was able to move on from there to being an actress. Because you're only a beauty queen for 1 year.
Oh, what? You know what? Matagal nang nangyari ito, no? You won in 1982, correct?
No, we're talking about how many years ago? Almost 40 years ago. 4 decades, my goodness. Rose, you have to understand, they changed the rules.
Yeah.
Now, you cannot be an official candidate if you have modeled for a men's magazine. They have disqualified so many contestants now based on that rule. I was like the only one who got away with it. Sandra Seifert was disqualified. Some are dethroned. Some are like Kim Ross. She modeled for a sexy magazine in a 2-piece bikini. She was disqualified, even if she was.
So why did you get away with it? Bakit ikaw lang? Only Isabel Lopez can do it.
Well, you know how it is when you're from Balik-Balik, Sampaloc, Manila, and when you're from UP, you have the angst.
the reason why we want you on the show is because we want to inspire people. Yung kwento mo pa lang na yan, I'm like inspired because, it shows us kung sino si Maria Isabel Lopez. You're a fighter. And I really enjoy talking to you even behind the scenes because of the way you present your story, very candidly. And I like it when you say, kasi taga-UP tayo at saka galing ka ng Sampaloc. So
balik Sampaloc, Manila.
Balik Sampaloc, Manila.
So many gangs there. They have like those pana thing way back. They had this sumpit that, gang wars. There's a lot of gang wars in that area. I live in Pilioncio. It's very near the railroad station, the Rilis ng tren. They call it home along the Rilis. Yeah.
Okay.
I love my origin. I love what I am and who I am. I just, even if people from the outside could see me on a different perspective, you can be judged, especially when you get into viral news, when you become pasaway, like removing the the traffic cones on the ASEAN lane. I can be so pasaway. But, I just came to a point in my life where I really do not need the other people's approval. I just love and approve of who I am.
We would like to inspire our kababayans, kung nasaan man sila, kung nasa UK sila, nasa America sila, o nasa Pilipinas sila. Tell us about your artworks. Kasi, malaman is, how did you make use of your time efficiently? During the lockdown, yes.
You stay home, and then in the pandemic, people are suicidal. Most young people are depressed. They feel hopeless.
Mm-mm.
Not to mention the fact na wala kang trabaho. I'm Maria Isabel Lopez, double jeopardy. No work as an actress, and then no work as an artist because you stay home. So even if you just make, a lot of artists make good art, but they have no chance to do exhibitions because galleries are closed.
Okay.
So finally,
I did not let the pandemic stop you from doing your.
No, you just have to adapt. You have to adapt. Like you will not be stopped from eating out. You can eat outdoor because outdoor is safer. And of course, you have to carry with you. I have a Lifeline bag that has all the sanitizers, the wipes, the alcohol, and all the gloves. And also, I have an electric car charger that if I have to charge my car in a charging station, I wear double gloves, heavy duty gloves, and then sanitize everything you touch.
Everything. Okay, so
like the saying goes, ligtas ang praning.
That's true. Wala namang masama kung talagang mag-iingat ka. But tell us about your exhibit.
Yeah, this exhibit is being done by the Sebastopol Center for the Arts every year. It's called Art at the Source. And we have this Art at the Source. It's scheduled for June. But because this is where you open your studio, it's called Open Studios, and then you can have interaction with the buyers, keep in touch with the market. But since the pandemic, California was in a lockdown March. So June was canceled. So the center revisioned itself into doing it online. So now I'm doing this virtual art exhibit. It's called Pandemic Moments. Because these are the moments where you're locked inside, and what do? You kind of have to create something. You kind of go back to your life, you reassess yourself. So it all came out in my art form. I'm doing this mosaic. I'm a member of the American Society of Mosaic Artists. And then I chose subject matters that I could relate it. One of my pandemic moments artwork is Madonna in Child. It brings me back to those days when I was a Catholic, and you put your faith in praying to Mama Mary and to Jesus Christ, baby Jesus, for protection. Things like that.
I'm quite impressed na sa kabila ng pandemic, you were able to finish your project because you started it last year, and now you have a virtual exhibit. My question is, why did you choose mosaic? You have a penchant for mosaic.
Yes, I've been doing mosaic since 2011. I was actually painting a lot of nudes, acrylics, seascapes, landscape. I do the usual paint. But then when I travel, when you go to Venice, when you go to the Byzantine mosaic places like Ravenna, the use of glass is so interesting because there's a glare. If you
Mm-mm.
go to the Cathedral of San Marco in Venice, the ceiling is all mosaic. The color changes at sunset. When
Mm-mm.
the sun is red, the mosaic becomes fiery red gold.
Okay.
So this one, you cannot achieve this with the regular acrylic. I'm glad you asked that question. The regular acrylic and oil, what you see is just it. But with
Mm-mm.
glass, using mosaic, it changes on the time of the day. It changes
Mm-mm.
on the kind of light you have, and everything just changes depending on the reflection.
What you said to me that when you prepare for an event, talagang pinaghahandaan mo siya, like you go on a diet or you have nagdi-detox ka. That's why, you know, ang ganda pa rin ng Maria Isabel Lopez hanggang ngayon. Hindi
No,
ba?
uh,
You know,
uh,
that
like,
yung figure mo, yung skin mo in person. When I saw you, I was really impressed. So, bigyan mo rin ng beauty tips siguro at saka mga health tips sa mga
okay, let's
kababayan
not
natin.
focus so much on the beauty. Let's focus more on the health and the wellness.
Exactly, yes.
Because outside you may not be physically beautiful. I'm not your typical beauty queen who's like 6-footer or like with a svelte figure. You know, I'm 63 years old. I'm a senior citizen, and if I'm in Manila, they won't let me go out because of the general community quarantine.
You should be, yes, you should be shielding.
60 and above, they won't let me go out. They don't know that my DNA is only 25. I could beat the health of any 18-year-old.
So what's the secret then?
Well, it's simple. You go back to the basics. In this pandemic, we all go back to the basics. What are the basics? First, you eat plant sources, more plant from the natural source.
Mhm.
What are the high COVID numbers among people? Like in the study here in the States, a lot of processed food were being eaten by like Latinos, Hispanics.
Mm-mm.
Processed food, like probably if you eat Pringles or Doritos or like,
Yes,
so
salty food,
these
processed food,
things
yes.
are all devoid of nutrients. This is not just the fight of the virus. This is the fight of our immune systems. They call it
Correct.
matibay.
Mm-mm.
Matibay. Like if your immune system is weak, you'll be in critical care. And that's going to be so much hard work. You overwhelm the healthcare system, the nurses, the frontliners. So
Exactly.
you gotta be a hero. You have to do your share. Get
That's
away
right.
from all the pleasure foods. I call them pleasure foods.
My last would be to ask you for an inspiring message to our kababayans kung saan man po kayo nanonood, whether you are in the UK, US, or in the Philippines. What would you like to tell them?
Okay. I would just want to tell my fellow kababayans that this COVID-19 pandemic, it's actually nature working for us and not against us. People really did not do their share in taking care of the environment, taking care of the earth. And now that we're in a lockdown, you could see the turtles are back in the sea. In Boracay, the turtles are starting to lay eggs. In Venice, the dolphins are swimming again.
Mhm.
So it's actually nature working for us. So we just have to really not abuse Mother Earth and not abuse ourselves. Why do people have very weak immune system? It's because they already know which is a good food and the bad food. Matigas ang ulo. Matigas din ang ulo natin eh. Alam mo nang bawal, you're gonna eat. If you're diabetic, you keep eating this sugar and taking these soft drinks. I'm not a big fan. We don't want food to be our enemy. Food is not supposed to kill us. It's killing it. It's not just the virus killing the world. You see,
Yes.
if you take a lot of processed food, it's gonna kill you. And in this virus, you have no more weapon in this pandemic. So we have to keep the fight. The fight is not just on the face shield. And also, I have to give this message that it's always important to have a good mental attitude because stress is now the new smoking. And we have to continue nurturing ourselves. And this is a very clear message to the people in the world. that this is happening and it's gonna go away.
So there you go. Maraming salamat, Maria Isabel Lopez, for chatting with us, for the throwback moments, yung mga kwento ninyo, your anecdotes, and of course, your advice para sa ating mga kababayan. Don't forget, yun pong kanyang art exhibit virtual.
Yes, I just want to have the last word. It's going to be on my website. Please visit mariaisabellopezart.com and please follow me on Instagram and Twitter at BeautyQueenMIL, Beauty Queen Mil. Okay?
Fantastic. Thank you so much for
Thank you
this
also
opportunity.
for this wonderful opportunity. I'll visit you there.
We'll see you and we'll have you back. Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye.